Hi, I'm Elizabeth Gearhart. I'm here with Marcella Gencarelli, my partner in Fireside, who is going to interview Pam Sammarco with Green Training Associates. And I'm very excited for this interview. There's a lot of good stuff here. Hey, Marcella.
Hi, Elizabeth. Good to see you and great to see you, Pam. Looking forward to having this conversation with you. Green Training Associates was amazing. I have witnessed you in action and tell us about you.
So, hi everyone. I'm delighted to be here. Thank you, Elizabeth and Marcella, for hosting Green Training Associates in this fireside directory. My company, Green Training Associates, helps people and organizations grow and thrive in the broadest sense of sustainability. We accelerate business growth through training, talent development, coaching, and mentoring solutions. And we want every client's organization to be future ready. So the unique and most important differentiator is that I'm an industrial organizational psychologist. I love to analyze and predict human behavior at work. The data science of talent development, which is using assessments and other techniques, is essential to measure individuals, teams, and organizations that drives change. And then I apply those trends and optimal behaviors in everything we do. So we take those elements and design and develop them through people strategies and coaching. And the opportunity is for us to look at how to move the needle, because the end game is that we make organizational change and impact the priority, and we back into it by using the knowledge of human behavior that creates sustainable organizational change.
That's amazing. So you really need, when you're sitting down with a customer, you or a prospect, so to speak, you would really need to do like a deeper dive into some of the facets or a lot of the facets of the company and the organization and the structure.
Exactly. So we have four differentiators that are unique and key to our success to working with our clients. It's a commitment of our values and principles to ensure that we put people and relationships first. We help companies thrive when we focus on their entire talent development strategy. And we drive performance with what I call our differentiator and proprietary methodology of performance learning ecosystem. And that basically is using my IO psychology background and the cognitive science for behavior change. And we dedicate our approach also for psychological safety, which is the protection of people to be able to bring their best self to work every day. It's how to help a person reach those optimal or their highest potential. And then that advances organizational performance when an individual can participate in training, be their best self, develop themselves, and also deliver that performance with their best self to the job. And it's essential to make people feel safe and that the confidential conversations that happen in training and support of them to learn and to be vulnerable, we do that well and build authentic conversations.
Wow. So then how when you're actually sitting down with a customer, what are some of the first steps that you would engage with your client? Like what are some of the things that we would need to know to be prepared?
That's a great question. So first and foremost, we start with the executives and the sponsors of the initiative that I'm being invited to talk with them about. And understanding from an executive standpoint what they want to communicate, what their expectations are. And the leadership basically, the conversation starts at the top to figure out what's the optimal state for their company and what is it that they're trying to achieve from a business goal standpoint. So I back into that by understanding what's the current state. How are things, going? How are things going now? So I start by asking, how can I help you in my conversations? And as a trusted advisor, I have a set of discovery questions, discuss their business priorities, their leadership, what their workforce is like, the capabilities they're seeking to build, and what the business performance indicators are. So when I can drive performance into the organization, it's that impact that I can have by understanding at the top what they want to accomplish. And the transparency is pulling those key messages through everything I do when I'm delivering the solution for their employees and their leaders. So it's an essential component. Just how can I help you? And the client starts to describe what's going on in their business.
Mhm. Do you sometimes find or that most, companies, I'm thinking from myself from a company standpoint, do they know where the pain points are? Or through your deep dive, are you uncovering some pain points maybe that they didn't know existed?
It's both, really. And that's a great question, Marcella, because the conversation will begin with what's going on for the business, what they're trying to achieve. I work a lot with business growth, progressive, innovative companies that are trying to be adaptable, agile, and responsive to competitive pressures. Industry moves quickly today in many ways, and their company needs to be having a role in that. And so
Mhm.
that conversation is very strategic. And sometimes getting underneath why, where they are in the current state, it sheds light on where they are because they can articulate it. And sometimes as an objective observer, I can bring ideas that I've seen that may have worked in other industries or other companies. And the conversation is interesting because sometimes they don't always know what they don't know, but they know where they're at and
Mhm.
where they'd like to be, and helping them close that gap is really what I do through conversations. So sometimes the lens is too narrow, and I help open that lens up, and
Mhm.
that discovery of root causes and what to do about them is a custom build of solutions. That's the proprietary methodology, which is how do I create a solution that's going to be delivering the organizational impact they're seeking, and then we measure it and we implement. So it's really a 4-step process. Yeah.
Very interesting. And would it be on like a train the trainer type of ongoing process so that the processes would stay in place? How does that work?
So it can be, and it depends on the organization's needs. So absolutely have done a train the trainer where necessary if they want to continue delivering internally, or if it's a rollout of a solution that they want to license the program materials and deliver it themselves. It's an option. It really varies by client. The size of the client sometimes is a big role. It's whether it's a mid-sized company to a large company to a global. So those needs vary widely. And anything is really possible because we're talking about what the organization needs. And then we figure out how to get there. So assessing the current state, future state of the goals, design the solutions to align to those business performance goals, implement them, track improvement, and measure and report results. And it's 100% customized.
Wow. One of the conversations that we've had before was about the talent development piece. Now, do you find that companies align with that for the purposes of retention and having, folks promoted from within? Could you elaborate a little bit on that?
It's a great question because it's one of the hottest trends today, because there's what they call is called a war for talent. And the current state of the demographic shift with the young generation coming into the workforce and the opportunity to develop them. So we focus on emerging leaders and middle managers. I also love working with STEM professionals, but they're, at the end of the day, they're needs are growing, and companies are trying to thrive and grow their business, and they need to develop this talent pipeline. So one of the challenges we have is just simply middle managers are not prepared, and the emerging young leaders are not prepared with the capabilities to drive the business goals and being able to come in and affect change for organizations that are seeking to grow and thrive with what I call future readiness of their company. And to attract and retain their talent, there's a set of variables that have to be in place. And those are the top 10 talent development trends. I have an online business assessment and a results meeting that I provide to every client that wants to figure out where they are with those top 10 talent development trends. So I tell the data science of talent development through these top trends. And it's critical with the automation of jobs, with the need for um, onboarding, solid onboarding that's 90 days or longer, career pathing, upskilling, reskilling, training people with new capabilities to align to the business strategy, and so on. So those 10 talent development trends are the root of where, if a company does that well, they're going to attract and retain and develop and prepare for those leaders to be in the future of their business, to lead the future of their business through succession planning and early pipeline development. So it's essential because there are a lot of challenges finding the right employees due to the changes in their business. So it's a great question. We have lots of work to do. Talent development has the spotlight in terms of a priority for many companies. And if it's not, they absolutely need to take a look at that strategy, and I'm glad to speak with anyone on it.
Mhm. It's amazing you just used that word spotlight. The spotlight has been on you most recently, not too long ago. You're award winner. Could you tell us about that? And please share. Do not be shy. Please share.
Sure. I have two awards that I'm most proud of in my career. The first, it's with pure joy and heartfelt gratitude and pride to be an honoree in the 2020 cohort of NJBiz's Best 50 Women in New Jersey Business. And the award recognizes vision, leadership, career accomplishments, mentoring, and community service. And I'm proud in a very extensive career in talent development and in my business for 12 years to be recognized with a cohort of a wide range of professions and industries, people in this top, this 2020 cohort of the Best 50 Women in New Jersey Business that recognizes the top 50 women in the state last year, and it's an annual award. And I'm excited because it's an acknowledgement of everything I've worked for, my dedication, my commitment, and the ability to create visibility for myself as a role model to help other young women, because my passion is inspiring and empowering young women to be great leaders. And the more I can demonstrate that through my mentoring and community service and support and sponsorship of young women, it really is an extraordinary opportunity. The second award, with pride, I received the highest honors award for my Northern New Jersey chapter of Association for Talent Development. And that Charles T. Morgan Award is for lifetime commitment and excellence in workplace learning and performance. And I received that award from my professional association in respect of my dedication to that community and to the profession, and my entire career has been based in talent development. So I'm pleased with these two awards. It makes me happy to share them with you.
No, that's exciting. It is so exciting. Want to ask you another question that maybe I want you to be able to share with us, and you do not have to share names. Can you give us a highlight of a success story and what that looked like coming to be, and how you were able to bring the pieces together and create that and assist your client?
So my goodness, and I just prepared, I've got so many great stories to tell. So let me offer that Green Training Associates has a web page with many client success stories and testimonials. So be sure to browse on the Green Training Associates website to check out some examples. And I find, there's really like so many stories. There's three of them, but I'm hard pressed to pick one. So I'm thinking out loud with you so I could be articulate and focused on what I think the viewers of this video might enjoy hearing about. So I guess the broadest application of building a sustainable organization is building a future leadership team to help the client thrive. And I was invited into a conversation with a client. They're a mid-sized company, regional company, and they very typically needing to build their middle manager capabilities to be promoted, as they have many senior leaders that dedicated their careers to that business that will be retiring in, say, the next 5 to 10 years. They needed to groom the next generation of leaders. And that's where the conversation began about how to do that. So we went to work, first of all, talking to the executive team. What's the vision? what would you want in a future leader that's going to succeed you? And so I did this exercise, and I also benchmarked some best practices because I love research and analyzing human behavior at work, and came back with some recommendations marrying what they expected with some of the best practices in the industry for leadership development, and created a custom learning solution for a leader readiness journey. And we did a nomination selection of 10 people that actually turned out to be 20 because we did 2 cohorts, and we delivered the end-to-end customized solution that delivered impact for these 20 leaders. And it included a mentoring partnership program, skill workshops, a team strategy project, and essentially private coaching that was a one-to-one relationship, in addition to live workshops where we work through skills and we apply them to the job. I use what I call performance learning lab method, which is how do you take this a skill and make it actionable and walk away being able to perform differently. So I put together this program, and it was an extensive leader readiness journey based on the client's needs. And we deployed it. And of the 20 leaders, the business impact, 8 of them were promoted within a year of graduation. 5 of them changed jobs to an upward career path. And then they continue to grow and develop those business relationships with each other. And it's a proud moment when I can say the business impact has been extraordinary for them. And I'm excited because that client is thriving. Their future leaders are getting ready to take the helm, and they're demonstrating their advanced performance immediately within months of graduation. The promotions were a moment of commitment on the organization's part, because training is a team sport. Every moment of the things that I did had commitment from from the entire executive team. The conversations were honest and authentic. They were dedicated to making time for those professionals in the cohorts to develop them and to make sure that they had everything they needed to be successful. So it's not as much what I did, but I facilitated the process and accelerated that performance growth for that business of those future leaders. And it's a proud moment for me to be able to say that I contributed to that, and excited about it.
Oh, that's exciting. That is very nice. How do you find customers? How do customers find you?
Well, so it's an interesting conversation because with the pandemic, so I want to talk a bit about COVID and the changes that happened. So let me just say that typical clients, I work with Green Training Associates, works with clients of all sizes. We consult for local companies to globals across diverse industries. And we especially excel working with companies in obviously sustainability, technology, life sciences, environmental science industries, but worked across a lot of industries, manufacturing and financial services and so forth. So we also work with progressive, innovative cultures that are driven by an urgency to solve the world's challenges. So engaging with executives that are in decision-making roles are the ones that I typically seek out. And typical client roles might include chief people and culture officers, executives in human resources, talent development and training, IT executives, environmental health safety, chief sustainability officer executives. So there's a range of who the typical client. I wouldn't say there is a typical. I would say it's more based in what the company is trying to accomplish, because we develop people's capabilities to solve the world's challenges and build sustainable organizations that thrive and grow. So where they find me, LinkedIn has been a hotbed. There are referrals, people referring me, people discovering me on LinkedIn through speaking engagements. I also discover new clients and prospects, and just a variety of means now that it's virtual, because we're not going to in-person networking events. And so there's collaborations and clients that, someone saw me on a webinar panel that I did months ago, and they linked me in, and I said, oh, I've got some solutions. Would you like to talk about what your business priorities are? And then the conversation ensued there to contract. So it's a different world. And, COVID has changed my business, certainly, from the way things, through what are, I think, mostly referrals and recommendations of people. but it's essential because COVID now is with us. And I don't know if we'll get into in-person maybe later this year, but COVID has created a change in Green Training Associates business model for sure.
And do you see the going forward that some of these processes may stay in place going forward? Like, what are some of your key takeaways during this time?
Well, first, we set a goal to thrive through the pandemic with innovation. And that's exactly what we did. So I converted my on-site workshops and coaching to live virtual events. And COVID gave us the opportunity also to reimagine our programming to target the current challenges in business regarding talent development and the world. And we created 3 new live training suites that I named Inclusive Talent, Growth Mindset, and Sustainable Future. So it gave me the pause to really just see what's going on. And I love to research and benchmark. That's what IO psychologists do. And figure out what it is that the repositioning of my business model, going 100% virtual and looking with fresh eyes at what's going on and what's needed. So I provide companies with the intersectional balanced outcomes for smart people, smart business, smart planet. And the client priorities are our priorities. And I dedicate myself to their business future readiness. And through offering through the virtual training suites, that's what I'm doing at this point. Will it go back in person? I still have 2 or 3 clients that want on-site workshops, and they're willing to wait until the company returns to the workplace, perhaps later this year. And that's good. So it's created an opportunity for me to innovate, grow, and thrive as a business, and also to make sure that I'm in, that my energy and my synergy meets the client's needs where they are. And that's the essential piece for us.
Wow. Take us home. Tell us why I would hire you. Why would we hire you?
So my goal is ultimately to serve people and to serve organizations and help them thrive and be future ready. And I'm a dedicated professional. I have an action for bias. I'm committed to making sure that the client's needs are met with excellence that drive commitment and dedication to their business success, and doing that through people development, talent strategies, using everything I know about predicting human behavior, organizational impact, and ensuring that we take the customer from the current state to the future state. And I'm excited about the opportunity to work with clients who see the value in this approach and is seeking a trusted advisor and a partner to commit to their organization's goals.
Absolutely. When I hear of talent development, I think of you, of the workforce talent development, and your expertise is amazing. Elizabeth, do you have any questions?
Well, I
I think
just
it's been
want to
great.
say, I think Pam's incredibly impressive. I think that her background, her psychology background, especially applied to the corporate world or the business world in general, as she said, she works with different size companies, is more important than most business owners probably realize. The ones that do get it are going to be more successful because they are going to be able to put the right people in the right leadership positions, in the right jobs. And the people make all the difference. You can have the most beautiful building in the world, but if you don't have competent people that really care about their job and are in the right job, doing the right thing, and have been chosen and groomed for their position, then you're not going to be as successful. So I think what Pam does is extremely important.
Very important.
So confidence is an outcome of developing capability, and that's business confidence and individual confidence comes as a result of developing capability. And I'm excited to be here. Marcel and Elizabeth, you're amazing, and I'm so pleased to be invited to be in the fireside chat. Green Training Associates is developing people's capabilities to solve the world's challenges and build sustainable organizations. And business confidence and exceptional performance are outcomes of developing those right capabilities. So let's create a tidal wave of change with smart people, smart business, smart planet. Visit us at greentrainingassociates.com. Follow us on social media, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and sign up for our newsletter on our website. Thank you again so much for making this fireside video for us.